Good day, you absolute legends. Welcome back to another edition of Cynical Thoughts, the completely unscripted programs where I talk about my thoughts and feelings about the game No Man's Sky and all the company behind it, Hello Games. So, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Exocraft and why it's so unbelievably bad. I mean, I have a whole rant prepared in my mind, not scripted, but in my mind on everything I dislike about the Exocraft and how the team can really improve it. I mean, really dramatically improve them. But before we do get into today's video, as always, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like and also don't forget to double check that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel. If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe. Or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right on into today's video. So, Exocraft, No Man's Sky, let's talk about it. Oh my god, they are terrible. They are completely and utterly useless at this very moment in time in the game. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument when they was first introduced because there was something new and different to No Man's Sky, then everybody used them and they was fantastic. However, over the course of so long and updates after updates after updates, I mean, who can here honestly say the last time they truly used an Exocraft? I mean, I know I haven't. I know a lot of people that I speak to have not. A good portion of the community, as far as I'm aware of, don't use Exocraft because what's the point? There is no purpose behind using Exocraft. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to go and get some resources at any sort of distance, then you can either run to that location or just jump in your ship if it's a little bit further away and then fly there. It's a heck of a lot faster. But who would literally jump in the Exocraft to then drive there when it's the most slowest, not so uniformed way on getting from point A to point B to mine the resources to get back? I mean, you would have to be literally simming, like as in role playing, like being on a planet in order to find Exocrafts useful. And that's probably the only use case in my mind at this very moment in time, at the end of 2024, that Exocraft are useful. Other than that, I mean, personally, I just use them for extra storage space. I mean, I spawn them in, I put all my junk that I don't want to keep on my person or in my other inventories. I chuck it all in the Colossus, and then if I need some more space, I call in the Roma, I call in the Nautilon, or whatever the case is. I put all my crap in there, and then I don't use it. I literally just use them for storage space at this point. I mean, that's the only genuine use case I can think at this moment in time for Exocraft. But why are they so bad? Why has it come to this? Because when they was first introduced, I remember, and it was so promising. First of all, we have the Roma. For anybody who's been playing No Man's Sky for a long time like I have, we had the Roma first come into the game, and it was absolutely fantastic. And for the very first time, the immersion was there. It was fantastic. But in VR, now this is where the flip side is to this, because in VR, it's absolutely fantastic to drive around on a planet in an Exocraft. It's so like realistic, it's so cool, and you actually feel like the movie Mars with Matt Damon, you know, that you're just stranded on a planet and you're just driving around. It's fantastic, but you don't get the same immersion when you're not playing No Man's Sky in VR than just playing normal. You don't get that same immersion, so it's kind of boring. I mean, and that's probably the best way I can describe it. There is no actual utility for them apart from a storage space. I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they need to really do something with the game to change that mechanic. So, you know, make you know, Exocrafts great again, if you will. Not political slogan, I swear to God. But make Exocrafts great again. I mean, and how can this be achieved? In my mind, they could do a lot of smaller things to actually make them achievable. For example, they could make them modular so you can actually customize an Exocraft to your own liking. As in, you can actually, you know, swap out how an Exocraft look with modular parts, bigger wheels, smaller wheels, bigger engines, smaller engines, but not just like an internal kind of like, oh yeah, here's an upgrade module, slap it on, you're done. I'm talking like physically, you can literally slap on a bigger engine, you can slap on bigger wheels. You know, if you wanted to, you could like slap on rocket launchers to the damn thing and go and blow up the nearest alien in your vicinity, you know, or the nearest wildlife or whatnot, you know. put on like upgraded mining lasers, but again, not just like, an actual upgrade, slap it on the inside, like internal, where it says, upgrade this, but you don't actually see any actual benefit. I'm talking an actual mining laser, like the size of freaking, like, the Empire State Building or something, and slap it on the Roma or something, and call it a day, and then go and drive around and, and dig a hole to the center of the earth. But you know what I mean? They could do something like that, modular pieces. Oh, what about giving us a new type of Exocraft where you can actually go inside of it, not just in the cockpit, but I'm talking about walk inside of it, make a base out of it, have a traveling base, so no matter where you go in No Man's Sky, you could drive around and have a mobile base. How cool would that be? The use case then would dramatically open, in my opinion, for Exocraft. I mean, these are just some of the ideas I've been thinking about over the last 24 hours about how they could really kind of like modulate the Exocraft system, how they could actually become useful in the game. But you know what? I mean, yeah, Exocraft do offer things like hazard protection when you are out and about on, dangerous planets that have really stormy, bad weather. Fine, I won't take that away from that. That's always good to go in a pinch. However, if you're out and about and you're running from A to B, then, you have a real bad storm come, like, over your head. I mean, again, it makes no use to really, like, bring an Exocraft with you, because you just dig a hole. You literally dig a hole for like 2 seconds and, you just tunnel your way to wherever it is you need to go. You just wait the storm out. I mean, Exocraft really do have, at this moment in time, limited capability. But just with the very few things that I've suggested there, could really expand the use case of these things. Or what about something across the line of, maybe they could actually power up a base where instead of, let's say you've only just started the game and, these Exocraft can maybe one of the first things that you get, and maybe on board that has a power supply unit where whenever you first build a base, then it can transmit power from the power generator that's on your Exocraft. Again, on the premise of you can actually go into your Exocraft and use that as a base, but you wanted something a little bit bigger or something to power up a little bit more, then, you can use that as a drivable storage unit and go and drive it around. Again, just so many different use cases can be made if you make Exocraft modular, buildable inside, and you can really kind of like kit it out and customize it to your own preference. I think Exocraft right now in No Man's Sky really do need a lot of TLC, a lot of love and attention. Make Exocraft great again, because until they do, ladies and gentlemen, they are just going to be collecting dust in many people's storage areas, and all they are going to be doing is holding crap that you don't want in your inventory. That's all they're good for, in my opinion, right now. Unless you play VR, that's probably the only exception, because then it actually is fun. But yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below, do you actually use Exocraft? Have you used one in a while? I mean, again, the only Exocraft I believe that has any sort of use at the minute, and it is a stretch because normally I like to swim, but you know what I'm going with this one now, is the Nautilon. Yes, you can get from point A to point B in the water even faster. Yes, you don't run out of oxygen. So that's probably a good use case, is the miniature submarine version, which is obviously the Nautilon, kind of like an underwater submersible at this point. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. That's probably the only way I can describe it. It's okay. Again, how freaking cool would it be to have a Nautilon where you can customize all the inside and actually build it out to be like a freaking submarine and have an underwater base that you can like drive around and, do whatever. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, even again, but I talk about missiles. I really want missiles in No Man's Sky. I'm not going to lie. Build like an ICBM, stick it in the submarine and go and fire off into the nearest continent with loads of aliens and bugs and, your next door neighbor, whatever. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying what could be possible in No Man's Sky and what I would love to see in 2025. They really do need to rework. So like I said, let me know, comment section down below. Do you use Exocraft? Have you used Exocraft? If so, and if you genuinely do use Exocraft that you don't play and you're not VR play, because I know everyone in VR uses Exocraft, but if you're just a normal player who does normal, like, No Man's Sky things, that doesn't do VR stuff, do you use Exocraft? When was the last time you used it? And do you just do what I do and use it for storage space? Is also what I'm also asking. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I really just wanted to rant about this because it's so frustrating looking at everything else in No Man's Sky getting the love and the detention. Everything's getting detention, love and attention that it all very rightly deserves in all these different key aspects of the game of No Man's Sky. But I feel like Exocraft have been really, like, you know, in the background, back there with multiplayer not getting a good service in a while. So at the end of the day, 2025 is when they can hopefully make Exocraft great again and multiplayer. But that's not what this is about. It's Exocraft today. Exocraft. We've already done our moan about multiplayer. We all know how I feel about that. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. You know what to do. But yeah, that's just been my very quick rant today. Just whilst it is a little bit quiet on No Man's Sky at the minute for news. But do you think as well in 2025 that we will get some sort of Exocraft update? Do you agree that maybe they could have some sort of modular system for multi-tools for Exocraft, where they can actually maybe build bases inside of them and actually make them useful? So yeah, let me know what you would do to change Exocraft for the better. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to leave you today. Thank you all very much for watching. My name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now. I mean, I even put the suit on and everything. I wanted to really rage about this today.